Fairfield, Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut. It's hard to believe that they're in the same state, and even harder to believe that students from these two clashing areas went to the same high school. So sophomore year, when, through Facebook, everyone heard that Will Macy was moving from Norwalk to Fairfield, we all surmised which kids he was going to hang out with, where he was going to sit in the lunchroom, and how well he was going to do academically. No one had even met him yet. To be honest, I didn't even know what he looked like. That is, until second semester senior year, when we miraculously registered for the same humanities class. For the first few days, I didn't even notice what was in my class. After a few weeks in, my friend Gwen started giving me hints about a new guy she was going to prom with. He moved here from Norwalk. He's in our humanities class. He has a tattoo. I knew all along that she was interested in Will. She was a town girl, and the other students were in a frenzy about their budding taboo relationship. For some awful reason, her interest in Will made me take notice in him. Notice may be an understatement. Will was perfect. As the semester passed, I observed how articulate Will spoke in class, and how his opinions on the topics we discussed in humanities paralleled mine. Time went by and I never said anything, because girls like me didn't go out with city boys. Gwen continuously spewing details about their soon-to-be relationship didn't help either. But then fate stepped in. 2 weeks before prom, I was in the car ready to shop for my dress, when I got a phone call from one of Will's friends. She wanted to know if I could go to a party that night. It was a Monday. Being the town girl that I was, I declined, but after minutes of her pleading and yelling, she finally persuaded me to go by telling me that Will wanted to be there. It was a very convincing argument. I was a nervous wreck driving through the night looking for where this party was being held, but after what felt like decades, I finally got inside. I saw Will instantly, but avoided him like the plague. A whole hour went by before, finally, one of his friends got us to sit next to each other, and eventually we started to talk. Once we finally got that chance, I found that in our oppositions, Will and I are more similar than we were different. He's had to go through life known to people as that white ghetto boy, while I was always known as the Oreo. He's never fit perfectly into the mold, and neither have I. Apparently, I wasn't so nervous at that party that I made a fool of myself, because he asked me to senior prom that night. Don't worry about Gwen. She found another date. I've been dating Will for almost a year now, and every day he tells me that everything happens for a reason. After my encounter with fate that serendipitous day 2 weeks before prom, I've started to believe him. Every stereotype I had previously placed upon him and the city kids he hung out with has been shattered. Through this experience, I've learned a lot about myself and people in general.